they have come up with a solution to their initial announcement on potions. That solution, I agree, does not look great for the long-term health of war. I completely agree. However, hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, apparently there's something going on with war potions. And oh man, I have obviously not done a video on it. I did do a tweet and a YouTube post because a lot of you had asked me about like my thoughts on it. Can we get something on it? And I put that out there, and I honestly have been surprised by the response. So I have decided I'm gonna go ahead and make a video. And in this, we'll do this introduction, and I'm gonna read to you, and we'll talk about exactly what I wrote. And I'm in two line chats. One is with Poor Loki, and then another one is like an SSX alumni chat. I had the pleasure of being there for one season, and they allowed me to stay in their line chat. And I'll show you what I wrote in those two chats on the day the initial announcement went live. Then I will give some advice on like who I am. Because one of the things that came out from this post is a lot of misconceptions on the CCP in general, but also me as a person who is doing YouTube. And I was like, you know what? Not everyone sees every stream, not everyone sees every video. I'll go ahead and kind of answer some of what I think are questions. 3, then we'll go over some scenarios, the way I see this potentially playing out with Kabam. And then why I'm not that worried about the math right now. And we'll go over that. And then last is some advice on like what I'm going to do, and then how I advise other people to do it in order so that you can be happy with the game you play. I realize not everyone wants to hear every single part of that, although I do think it'll make the video make more sense. So there are timestamps in the description. Feel free to jump around. It will not offend me or bother me in any way, shape, or form if that's what you choose to do. And in fact, I'm purposely putting them there so that you can consume this video however you choose to do so. All right, let's go ahead and do this intro here. And this was my line prediction the day the original announcement went live. I don't remember if that was a week ago or 10 days ago or whatever, but it's when they originally said, by the way, we fully expect you to pay for potions. I mean, like I'm cutting through the message itself there, okay? And this is what I wrote. I'm imagining and also hoping this means the compensation will continue for the foreseeable future. Guess what? That's what's happening. 2, but Kabam smartly doesn't want to say this because it isn't intended in perpetuity. I think we all reasonably know that the compensation is not intended in perpetuity. It's supposed to be compensation for the gameplay issues that's been going on and plaguing this game for, I think, close to 7 to 8 months now. It's been a very, very long time. But Kabam, as a company, like if I put myself in their shoes, they don't want to say, here's how long this is going to go. This is exactly what's going to work, because we as a community aren't always the most responsive to this stuff, okay? Plus, they don't know how long gameplay issues are going to go on. I can understand it. I'm not saying it's the way I would do it. I'm saying I would understand it. Meanwhile, war potion costs are increased to get some revenue off the items used on top of compensation in the meantime. I think we can all understand that too from a business standpoint, right? We are getting messages. I'm getting line comments. I'm seeing it myself. I myself have had items expire from the compensation because I'm just flat out not using them. If that's the case, then that means there are players out there who are not buying potions or not using units on potions that they otherwise would. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm saying that Kabam, as a company who makes this game so that they can make money, I can understand why they would not like that. Then, when compensation is adjusted or halted due to gameplay issues being resolved, the potion cost can be reduced, and Kabam appears to have listened to the community. Anyone who's played this game for a length of time knows that this is how it works. Kabam comes out with something, they just make the announcement, they don't tell the CCP, we don't get like advanced knowledge, we don't get to play test it, it just comes out. We get the news as soon as you all do. It's usually too far. We, the community, in various ways voice our displeasure, and trust me, the CCP is definitely voicing displeasure and coming out with all kinds of numbers to show the implications of these decisions. And then, when the reality comes, right, because it takes time for this to actually come into the game, Kabam sees it, they probably run through their own numbers, I don't know for a fact, but it makes a lot of sense, and they see like, oh, the community is correct. People aren't playing war anymore in this scenario, or they're not playing this champion anymore, or they're not buying these potions, or they're not popping crystals, or they're not grinding the arena because of this decision we made. So let's go ahead and bounce back It's not like they decided that people were right all along. It's just the numbers are telling them this decision was not a good one. It did not create the revenue or the interest in the game or the playing in the game or the hours in the game that we had thought it would happen. This just makes sense. Remember, they are not interested in killing their game. They are not. Also, always keep in mind, it is their game. So as a result, I still feel very good about this prediction that I made at this time. It is actually playing out exactly as I predicted. They have come up with a solution to their initial announcement on potions. That solution, I agree, does not look great for the long-term health of war. I completely agree. However, we are still getting compensation during that time. If and when compensation is done, if and when that happens, if the potion current situation, if their announcement stays true, and all of the things that we can see will happen, actually happen, then we have a couple scenarios. We will talk about that later in the video, but I really feel strongly that Kabam is not interested in killing their game or their game mode any more than we are in seeing it killed. Okay, we'll continue on. Who am I and why does that matter, right? You know me as a guy who's on YouTube. A lot of you, based on I can see the subscriber numbers, thousands, like more of you than not, have gotten to know me in the last probably 6 to 7 months. And I understand that. So here we go. I've played this game for years, for an extremely long time. My favorite mode of the game is war. And when they created War Seasons, I started taking the game more seriously, let's call it. I moved up into an alliance that was competing to try to make Masters, if not Platinum 1. I have spent the last about a year and a half with a very short break in the Alliance for Loki. I am actually a member of the CCP. I originally started a YouTube channel because I just thought it sounded fun. And then as I started to do it, I enjoyed the interactions with you all. Started streaming, which I absolutely love. And as a result of answering questions from you all and wanting to get good information to give it back out, make my videos better, become a better resource and more entertaining and engaging, I actually became better at the game and started enjoying the game and the nuance of the game significantly more. There have been periods of times where I've been a massive whale, and there are periods of times where I have not. I still enjoy opening crystals from time to time, and I think you've probably seen that. A lot of you have seen me hunt a Mega Sentinel here, and we got her. Why does this all matter? Why am I telling you all this? Well, an additional piece of information you should know is this is not my full-time job. I am in the CCP, which I love because it gives me access to the test server. And I've said this in multiple videos, the meaningful relationship in all of this, being Kabam, myself, and you, the viewer, is for me, between me and you, the viewer. The relationship with Kabam it's like a transactional one in ways, in a sense, in that I have access to that server so that I can show you videos or I can test things out or I can give you information. But it's ultimately you that I'm interested in having that stronger relationship with, making videos for, and giving my honest opinion on things. If we don't make a video, or if I don't make a video, it's typically because I just don't think it makes sense, or it's not something I have time for. I have the luxury, I am blessed, I am fortunate, I'm well aware of this, of being very, very comfortable in life, both socially, health-wise, and financially. I am doing YouTube because I enjoy it. It, period. If for some reason my relationship with Kabam was cut off, I would continue to do YouTube because I enjoy this relationship with you. And guess what? If I really want a champion, I can go and get them. It's fine. I'm okay with that. That's not a brag. It's just a fact. And for those of you who've been following my channel long enough, you know that to be true. Additionally, I don't make hype videos. I was telling you that Guardian was amazing when people were commenting and telling me I was crazy and making a hype video, whatever. But guess what? Over the year and a half, everyone realized Guardian is amazing. I've told you that Nimrod was amazing, that Null was amazing, that Hercules and Kitty Pryde were amazing. Because guess what? I went and got them on my own account. I also make videos on champions like Man-Thing and Betsy Braddock, and I've done a whole series called R3 Worthy because I know not every single player has the ability to go out and just get a champion. This game makes it extremely difficult on real life and time resources to do that, and I don't like that about this game. But I know that that's who you have. You might have White Magneto. Is he worth your resources? So I went and I made a video on it. So anyone who wants to come and say to me, like, oh, I'm worried about the CCP, or you won't make a critique of Kabam. Like, you obviously aren't paying attention, or you're just a troll, or you're just not interested in nuance. In which case, my channel is not for you. And guess what? That is totally okay. I am fine with that. In fact, if anything, it's probably better. You can tell me you're gonna unsubscribe. And I'm okay with that, if I even see it, because I realize my time is wasted on you. But the fact of the matter is, if you're still listening, I know you are interested in nuance. You're interested in someone who's gonna tell you what they actually think, instead of just telling you what's gonna get views and clicks on YouTube. Because again, I'm interested in wasting my time, but I'm not doing this to become a YouTube star. It's just not what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna feign being upset. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm outraged. Here's the numbers and here's why. Kabam is trying to get you. They're trying to get into your wallet. No, yeah, one, they are. They exist to make money. But two, I'm not gonna accuse them of things that I don't believe. And for those of you who are still listening for some reason, not interested in nuance, go ahead and look at all the videos I've put out. You'll see in the last 2 months, I've put out 2 pretty strong critiques of Kabam. One about all the bugs that exist in the game and getting it right. 2 was on the rebalancing and all of the horrible potential issues I saw with it. I think it could be good, but I also see a lot of ways where players who are not massive whales could get extremely screwed over by it. And I'm gonna do, and I still am doing, everything I can, all the feedback I can possibly muster, giving it to Kabam to try to make sure that the rebalancing is done in an ethical and fair way for all of the players in this game. They can listen, they cannot. They may do it ethically, whether I write those things out or I make that video or not. But I made the video, and I'm not going to continue to make more videos to satisfy I'm not sure who. I made the video, you saw it, we move on. We either continue to play the game or we don't. Okay, the way I see this, there's 2 general broad scenarios for all of this playing out with war. One is bad, one is really bad, and the other 2 are the other one is good and can be broken down into 2 ways, and I'll talk about those as we go. There's of course always this third, like no one saw it, like they just cancel war altogether and they come up with this really cool new mode of the game that replaces it, and we're all joyously happy, or we're terribly upset. But I'm going to talk about hypotheticals that are reasonable, that we could foresee coming, that if we read the tea leaves, they're there, right? And also keep in mind, I'm someone who for probably 3 or 4 or 5 months now has been openly talking about being very concerned about mode of war. It is by far my favorite mode of the game. I make war videos, even though I know as a YouTuber, who's, if you're trying to grow a channel, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, there's a reason why. It's not a coincidence that the 2 biggest channels in our MCoC both times just stopped doing alliance activity at all, and openly talked about the stress and the time and the lack of interest in alliance war. I don't believe it's a coincidence, okay? But I still make war videos because I enjoy it, and because a lot of you have told me, like, hey dude, thanks, you're helping us out, you're showing us the nuance of these champions and characters, and that's what I'm really trying to do in my war videos. But if I was just fully trying to grow a channel, if this was like my main job, the way I was looking to make an income and support my family and myself, I'd probably stop doing war videos. All right, here's the 2 scenarios. We'll cover the bad one first. The bad one is this: compensation goes away, Kabam keeps with the numbers that they have, and I don't need to see the numbers. I've seen so many different versions of the numbers based on hypotheticals, this and that, and whatever, it's not important. That they all make sense. The problem is they don't all agree. But the one thing that comes out of all of them is that war is potentially going to get extremely expensive. And now I think it also makes sense in that it's very clear Kabam has been monetizing every aspect of the game, including the new battlegrounds that's going to be come out. It is incredibly fun, but it looks like they want to charge us energy just to play it, which I personally don't like. I don't like that version of the game. If I made the game, I would do it very differently, but it's not our game, it's Kabam's game. And so let's go ahead and just follow this thought through, because it makes sense so far, and it's set up with reasonable foundations on what we're experiencing currently in the game. They go ahead and do that. They remove the compensation, and they go ahead with this new potion policy. There is no new sources of loyalty that come in, and they basically just kill the mode of war. No one will be more upset than myself. I'm not saying I'll be the most upset, but I'm saying no one will be more upset than myself because I love this mode. I went out and wailed for Omega Sentinel, not for prestige, but so that I could use her in war. She looked like she's going to be great in war as an attacker and potentially as a defender. I'm very excited about that. And I've conveyed that message to Kabam multiple times that, like, look, I get it. You want to make your 300 units off of a potion. However, people would much rather spend their money getting really cool champions and then being able to be good or helpful in the mode than being nickeled and dimed or taxed for playing the mode. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think I am on this one. So that's scenario 1. I would hate it. I would be so upset, but it is what it is. Scenario 2, and there's 2 different portions. We'll talk about this, is that this actually turns out well. And you're like, dude, how could this turn out well? Are you crazy? Look at the numbers. I did. I see them. I totally will. And I'll show you how this could turn out well. Again, they don't put out loyalty. They don't increase our sources of loyalty. They want to start charging us for units for all these potions. We will die more, of course. And we won't be able to heal up. But what we do as a group is we decided we're not going to play that game, Kabam. We're just not going to do it. Yeah, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 alliances who band together and they're like, we don't care. We want to win war. But the vast majority of us are like, all right, so we don't clear the map. Fine. We'll take our rewards. We'll have fun in war. And we won't spend our units or our dollars on these exorbitant unit costs, on these exorbitant potions. Sounds good. Thanks, Kabam. You raised the prices so much that we're not going to buy it anymore. I actually don't see that as bad. And that goes back to some advice, and we'll get to that at the end. But for me, it's about find your fun. Like Dan and Rich say, find your fun. There will be groups. I'm sure there will be groups, 3 to 6 alliances, maybe more, who are like, no, we are gonna push through this. It doesn't matter. We're gonna boost massive every time. We're gonna heal to full every time. Unit cost doesn't matter. Dollar cost doesn't matter. But I know what I'm gonna do. You saw me go out and wail for Mega Sentinel. I'm gonna stick with my friends. I'm gonna play in 4 Loki, or I'm gonna play in SSX. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I don't want to spend my money being nickel and dimed on potions. And so I think there is a very possible good scenario that comes out from that. It will take time, and I've talked to some extremely smart players, and they're like, we see that as a possible scenario, but it'll take time. Some people will quit the game, and that will be very, very unfortunate. But I guarantee you that the second Kabam sees that happening, and I'm pretty sure they're up to date on the monetization of their modes and their games, they will backtrack, and they will backtrack fast. Because they don't want to kill a mode that could potentially be bringing them in money. Trust me, they don't want to do it. It doesn't mean that they won't make a mistake, but that's not their intention. The other scenario is what I kind of predicted from the very beginning, is they go ahead and follow through, and either they have some loyalty that they being Kabam, flushes more our way. They're like, oh, we forgot to tell you. Oh, God, guys. Woo, that was crazy. Yeah, we've always had in mind that we were going to give you all this extra loyalty just for playing the game, guys. Oh, man. Right? I mean, that's how this game has worked for so long. Or they say wow, you guys were right. Or, deaths are up, or our math was wrong. Who knows? Who cares? Who ultimately cares? But they start giving us more loyalty. So that way we can continue to be closer and closer to having great war results that we are interested in. And ultimately we end up with the same result, where we've got the loyalty we need to get the potions and the boosts, and that's where we end up. So again, I'm not saying I'm not worried, guys. I am, because if my friends stop playing the game, then what good does it do me to continue playing the game? No one wants to play this game by themselves. At least I know I don't. And then last is my advice on this whole thing, right? And again, as I start off with this video, is I'm going to tell you what I actually think. I'm not going to tell you what I think you want to hear. Those of you who come onto my stream, you also be like, no, dude, you tell us what I want to hear all the time. No, I don't. I empathize with people. And if someone's telling me I'm really frustrated by this thing, and I'm like, Yeah, okay, I can see, once I buy into it, like I can understand that just because you and I disagree doesn't mean you're stupid. We can disagree. Smart, reasonable people can disagree, and that's totally okay. And I can feel badly for you. So I feel badly for people who are worried. I feel badly for people who are outraged. The whole thing. But I can feel that way while also still saying, this is how I truly believe it's going to work. I believe ultimately all will be okay. And here's my advice, and why I can feel that way is play the game you want to play. One, accept that this is Kabam's game, and they will always try to monetize things. They have shown us that that's what they will do, and we have been given no reason to think that they'll stop at every step of the way. Now, because of compensation, war has been in itself, I don't think they've been able to monetize it too well. I've been openly talking about and proudly talking about the alliances that are winning in war. Look at this. G240 has won 3 times in a row. And I really don't believe there's a single whale in there. And I don't mean that as disrespect. I don't respect whales more or less than any other person. I don't think there's a single one there. Savage Squad, I've been told, has maybe 2 or 3. For Loki, I think has maybe 4 to 6, depending on the day of the week and what champions come out, right? And there's a lot of other alliances like NXS, Noon. I'm sure there's some whales in there, but these aren't known as these massive whale alliances. And as a result, what that tells me is Kabam doesn't feel like they're seeing the numbers, the dollar numbers coming in from war itself. Now, I wish Kabam would think about, well, okay, maybe you aren't spending it on the potions, but they're spending it on the rest of the game. They're buying rank up units, they're buying crystals, these sorts of things. But I don't know. I don't have access to their numbers. I don't get to talk to their economy monetization team. So my advice is find the game and do your best to find people and friends and alliances who are playing the game you want to play it. If you want to be an alliance that's pushing war and potentially spending money or your hard-earned units, right? Because time's more precious than money, guys. And you want to do that, then do it. And then you're not going to mind as much when Kabam starts to nickel and dime you this way. Doesn't mean you'll like it. But if you've accepted that that's what Kabam's going to do because that's how they make money and that's how they've learned to make money, then it's not going to bother you or it's not going to surprise you or shock you or outrage you anymore. And if you don't want to play war that way, then don't. Some of the people who watch my war videos actually will actively comment and be like, I stopped playing war 6, 7, 8, 10 seasons ago, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. But they still watch my war videos because they're like, but thanks for showing me how to use this champion. That was really cool. And that's totally okay, and that's great. And go be like them. Go be like them. Go enjoy the game the way you want to enjoy it. And accept that Kabam is at every single stop of the way going to do their best to incentivize you to spend on this game. That is how it works and operates. The whole game is designed to get you to spend more than you otherwise would. It's if you're free to play, it's to get you to be like, hey, if you spend this $5, you'll be able to get this boss down that much faster. You won't have to go to the arena and get those units, which, by the way, are still RNG based because you've got to open these crystals to get them. And if you spend $100, look, if you spend 2, you're going to get this awakening gem. That's just how it works. That doesn't make Kabam evil. It's just obvious. I'm going to say it over and over because I want that message to come through. Because again, remember, I'm doing this because of the relationship I have with you. That's what actually interests me. And I'm looking to get my experience and what I feel like is knowledge out to as many people as possible who are receptive to listening to it. So those are the scenarios. That's how I see this playing out. I am worried and I empathize with everyone who's concerned about either their favorite mode or their friends going away and or both, because I am too. I'm concerned that Kabam will somehow kill this mode of war. I'm worried they haven't been paying enough attention to it for an extremely long time. And every move like this just puts it that much closer to its death's doorstep. But even more so, I'm concerned that half my friends may just go away. And I actually use this analogy with Kabam. I was like, it's kind of like the tree that falls in the forest that no one hears. I can get a Mega Sentinel, and if I use her to take 10 fights, but none of my friends are there to see it, or there's not enough defenders being placed, so I can't even do that, then I'm going to stop going to get a Mega Sentinel. I will continue to try to give that advice to Kabam. But you, the viewer, I can only put out one video a day, max. Usually I don't even hit that because it's just because of time. I have a job and I have a family. And I don't want to put out stuff that isn't real, honest, or what I think you want to see. So I'm not going to put that video out every day. Find the game, find the people who are playing the game that you want to play it. Accept that Kabam will monetize every single thing, and that they are constantly trying to find new and novel ways to get you to spend more of your time and real life dollars on the game. That does not make them evil. And I think you'll be much, much happier. Now, last part, what am I going to do about all of this besides make this video? Myself, and I believe DLL, Campo, and Blaze, and some other people probably on the Rankings team, I'm going to talk to some other players in 4Loki, hopefully SSX, and I'm going to find some players on my Discord server who aren't playing at Tier 1, but they still enjoy war, right? This isn't just about Tier 1. And I'm going to ask them to track their loyalty, where it's at when the season starts, the amount that they're bringing on a daily basis, and their honest item usage. They're honest, like how much loyalty are they using? How many potions are they using? Because that's not a hypothetical. That's real. That's something that's like actually happened and happening. And then me and the rankings team will probably get together, do like a trending video and really talk this through and get some of your ideas too. And hopefully we can give that to Kabam. Because the fact of the matter is like I said, I love this mode of the game. I don't want it to go away. I would really like to see Kabam make good pro player decisions before they see it hit their pocketbook. Because if it hits their pocketbook first, meaning if players are going away or they stop playing the mode altogether or they stop playing the game altogether, and Kabam waits for that reaction before fixing this, then that means we've lost players. I've probably lost MCoC friends, and that means the mode of war is just that much less fun. I don't want to see that happen. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this way through, you're interested in Nuance, I appreciate it. I really think this is the right channel for you, and I could not appreciate your view more. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I do tend to read them and respond to the ones who are obviously interested in nuance and understanding. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.